What's up, guys? This is Kephas. Alright, so we are back, still in, we're in Goldshire. We're taking a horse over to the east side of Elwyn Forest to continue our questing. Going to kill some murlocs today. It's actually kind of funny because I remember it gets confusing sometimes because I remember doing a lot of questing in Classic, and I remember doing Elwyn Forest with my warlock, and so it's like, wait a minute, is this going to be hard? Because it was really hard in Classic. It's like, nah, dude, we should be fine. We're paladin. But so like last time we were talking about how much fun, at least to me, like how much fun Shadowlands has been for me. And like I said, I've been having tons of fun. But I kind of mentioned a little bit about Sylvanas. I think Sylvanas is, it's interesting, because like I don't know a whole lot with what they're going to do with her. And I know that like it seems like there's a guy that works at Blizzard that does a lot of the story that's just a big fan of Sylvanas. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're just going to kill her off. I don't know if she's going to like, I had this plan all along, and this was what I wanted, and you guys helped, or what. I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. But what's really interesting about it is that like, I'll be first off, I've never really been the biggest fan of Sylvanas. I know that might get me some hate from some folks, but I just never really found her that interesting. I always, like, there's a lot of people that are just like obsessed with Sylvanas for whatever reason. It's like, whatever, dude. She's this edgy Night Queen, and that kind of character never really intrigued me all that much. But at the same time, I don't hate her. I guess she's not like, I don't like. She was cool, and I liked going through I enjoyed going through, trying not to say a lot of the leveling experience in her zones. Like, so going through Tirisfal Glades, going through Silverpine, especially Silverpine, because she's in there a lot. And I actually found it really interesting. So I liked what was going on. It kind of has, kind of funny, like going through those zones and wondering what she was planning all this time. Didn't really expect where things went. Kind of went completely against what I would expect, actually. And so that's why I'm like, either they just kind of like flipped her, or they're going to pull something where she was in on it all along, and this is what her actual plan was. I don't know. I hope they don't do that, because that's just kind of like, okay, swerving us again, I guess. I'm not a big fan of swerves in storytelling. I don't, unless it's like a really well done, but like a swerve for the sake of it being a swerve, it never really got me. But one of the things about Sylvanas that was kind of cool, I guess, is that, like, they kind of touch on this in a cutscene that I don't want to spoil, but she kind of has this strong sense of free will, I guess. Like, just so from what I understand, like, and I might be wrong about part of the story, but what I think is funny is, so she was a ranger defender of Silvermoon and Blood Elf. One of three sisters. She was really cool, and unfortunately she fell to the Lich King, right? And so he turns her into a banshee, and for a while she's under his control or whatever. So she's under the control of the Lich King, and then eventually something happens, and she breaks free of the mental control, and then runs back and finds her body, and then she becomes Sylvanas, the one we know, and she founds the Forsaken and other undead, the Scourge members that become free and all that kind of stuff. And that was kind of cool, so obviously at that time her biggest thing was, I'm going to get revenge on the Lich King, I'm going to get revenge on Arthas or whatever. And sure enough, that's what things lead to. Of course, we then take out Arthas, and then her thing becomes finding, I don't know, in a way kind of like finding eternal life, or finding a way for her people to continue on, the undead or whatever, because they can't reproduce. And so she does the thing in Silverpine where she Valkyr bring people to the undead, or raise people as undead, I should say, if I get my words straight. And some people aren't fans of that kind of stuff, but it's whatever. But the big thing about her is that she broke free from the Lich King's control, right? That's kind of the idea. Supposedly that's what happened. And now, after all this time, she's serving the jailer or she's made a deal with the jailer or whatever. Like, it's hard to me. It seems like she's serving the jailer. That just seems to be the case. And what I find funny about that is, like, all this time she's supposed to be this character that, like, she is this strong. Like, what made people like her, I guess, is that she's got the strong willpower. She breaks free from the Lich King because that's how awesome she is. No, I mean, if things are to be believed, you could argue that she never really did break free from that. So, because, like, all this time, well, maybe not all this time, but at least, ultimately she goes back to serving the jailer. So it's like she might have she broke free from Arthas, I guess, but then went and got in league with his boss, and now is being kind of controlled by him. So I don't know. It's like for a little bit she's like, yeah, free will, but then no, we don't have that, or something. I don't know. It's just very, like, going back on her character, it feels like. Not to mention just, like, the absurd power increase that they gave her is like, okay, like, there's just a lot of that kind of stuff. So, like, I'm kind of done with the character. Like, I like a lot of characters, so I still like Thrall. I love Jaina. Jaina's, like, one of my favorite characters. She's cool now. They kind of fixed her. She's not annoying anymore because she was getting kind of annoying there for a while. And now they're making her kind of fun again. Just really cool. So, like, but Sylvanas, like, I'm over it, man. Like, I'm just ready to, like it'd be kind of anticlimactic, I guess, if she's just, like, a sub boss in the final raid and we just take her out. So, like, but at the same time, like, I don't know. There's really nothing they can do with her, I feel like. Because, like, to me, there are three outcomes with Sylvanas. We either take her out, right, and that's it, and she's done. Or we either kill her, or just this whole story arc is over with her. We take her out and she escapes, like Gul'dan did in Legion, or no, in BFA, or no, in Warlords, jeez. Or, turns out she had another plan all along, and she was, like, helping us, and we were all in the same, like, team, and she was a good guy all along, and we just couldn't see the 4D chess that she was playing. Like, I could totally see the way, like I said, the way that, she's liked there. I could totally see some bullcrap like that. That would also be lame. So either way, like, I don't know what they're gonna do with her, but it's all kind of like whatever. I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of done with her. Like, I'm kind of ready to not see her for a while. But that happens a lot, I mean, I remember, like, you could say the same thing about Thrall. I mean, like, they he became this shaman, and, he was this really powerful shaman, but then people kind of got sick of him, and people missed the warrior Thrall, so they've kind of taken him back a lot. He's not really doing the shaman thing anymore. Now he's just a warrior, so a lot of that they kind of, like, went back on as well, but I think that was, like, at the request of a lot of people. So, I don't know. Sometimes they have to use characters as some sort of plot device to get us from A to B. So it is what it is. Also, totally forgot to pick a talent at level 15. There we go. Oh, hi, Mr. Cow. But it is what it is. But I just think it's funny that this character that we thought was, like, this strong-willed, strong character really wasn't all that strong in the end. They had to weaken her quite a lot, and, like, she might have a power increase, but as an individual, as a character, I feel like she's been weakened significantly. Just because, like I said, her willpower and wasn't that great after all. Her independence and her her free will and all that stuff that she seemed to be all about, never really was the thing. So to me, that kind of that weakens her character. So it's like taking a character that. I don't know, any character, you have this character that, like, they become good because they break free or whatever, or at the very least, like, even if she doesn't break, like, even if she's not good, like, at least she wasn't serving the Lich King anymore. Because, like, people give Garrosh a lot of crap, you know what I mean, for different reasons, but one of the reasons why a lot of people like Garrosh, even as a bad guy, is that even when he took the power of the old gods, he wasn't really being controlled by the old god, because it really wasn't an old god that we were dealing with. He took an old god's power and harnessed it for himself. That's how awesome he was, right? That's what made him strong. as a character. He was strong-willed. His willpower was strong, and people tend to, whether a character is good or bad, people tend to value that trait in a character a lot. So, because at least they're, they're really like, for whatever it's worth, they're, that's what they're all about. So, in Sylvanas' case, it doesn't seem to be her. She, like, you may as well assume, which I would assume that this whole time, from the moment she was turned into a banshee, she's actually been in control of the jailer. So everything about her character that made her isn't really a thing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Just, the way her character kind of went. I wonder what you guys think about that. What do you think of Sylvanas? Maybe like I'm misinterpreting it, or maybe I'm just seeing it in a different way, or maybe I don't understand her. Maybe I'm wrong about how her character was before. I feel like I've watched some videos on Sylvanas. Obviously, like I know a little bit. Like I never played Warcraft 3, so like a lot of the origins, I don't have firsthand knowledge on, other than just what I've read and what I've watched videos on. But that's how I always understood it. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I just think it's funny. It's not a big deal. I like where the story's going for sure. It's, again, like I said last time, it's the most interesting that I've found the story in a long time. So I like where we're at now. So I'm glad we got here. So, but I just think it's funny that Sylvanas is just not. She's just not who we thought she was, I guess. So, and I don't, like. A lot of something I can say, about strong characters, right, is, to me, like, people say, well, they did it so that they can make her a strong character, or whatever. And to me, it's like, just because you give a character a power increase doesn't make them a strong character. Because for one, it's not her power, and even if it were, to me, she's a weaker character because she's serving someone that, we thought she would never serve, or like she's serving basically she's serving the thing that she supposedly broke herself free from. It's like when it's a horrible comparison, I guess. It makes me think she's like Harley Quinn in a way. Let's just put it that way. Which I actually think Harley Quinn's a great character. Strong, depends, but she's a great character for what she is. So Sylvanas is. I wouldn't say that she's strong in the sense that she was before she became War Chief, before all the events of BFA and on have taken place. In a lot of ways, she's not. She's weaker, if that makes sense. So it just depends on how you look at it. But to me, physical power isn't what makes a character strong. You can take a character all day long and you can say, well, they're strong because look how awesome they are, or whatever. It's like, nah, it doesn't, like, that's not how it works. To make a character strong, there's more to it than that. And there's more about the character that you have to write in and tell a story that is compelling and makes that character interesting. And just giving them power doesn't do that. And I think that's I don't know if that's the goal. I know that's what people have tried to say. I don't think that's what Blizzard is trying to do, make this, well, she's a strong, character that's also, a female, so that makes her a strong female character. I don't think that's what they're trying to do, because if it is, that doesn't work. That's not how you make a character. Like I said, it's not how you make a character a strong female character. It's not. She was before. She was a strong female character before. I wouldn't call her that now. At least not how she's not as the story's been presented right now. She's not. Again, they could totally pull another swerve and like, hey, she had this other plan behind the scenes all along, whatever. But, as she is right now, I would not call her a strong character at all. So I call her just another lackey. That's what she kind of has become, is another lackey. So that's unfortunate, like I said, too. It's very unfortunate. She's, so it's just kind of like, it's just really interesting. Again, because like, before all this, like I wasn't like a huge fan, but I did like her story a little bit. Like I wasn't like a big Sylvanas like fan, but like I thought she was a cool character. And again, like if you were, who would have been a strong female character in WoW, I would have said Sylvanas would have been one of those characters. She was. But that changed. So But like again, like I said, I don't think that was the direction they wanted to go in. I don't think like, hey, we're gonna give her more power because we want her to be, strong, whatever. I don't think that was what they were doing. A lot of people have accused them of that, but I don't think that was their plan. In fact, because it seems like they wanted to, they had to weaken her at least mentally and weaken her willpower to kind of get us where we are now. I don't think it's about her anymore. Thank goodness, because like I said, I'm kind of done with her. But anyways, I do think it's another one of those cases where unfortunately they had to sacrifice a very good character, a fan favorite, to get us to where we are. And so I'd be curious to see what you guys think about all that. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you see it differently? I'd love to hear if you do, because I would love to hear a different perspective. And if you do think that, maybe they have, gone to that same old well of taking a character that is a fan favorite and kind of sacrificing them for the sake to move the story along. How do you feel about that? Because, yeah, I don't know. I kind of again, like I said, I like where the story is, but it does kind of suck to see, as time goes on, you see more and more characters that people have to get kind of, I guess sacrificed for the sake of moving the story along. And, eventually you kind of run out of characters. And in a way, if you think about it, I don't know, maybe there are characters out there that they could still have used, but we're starting to run out a little bit. You can't take everybody and make them a bad guy. You can't hopefully they don't, take Jaina, take Anduin, take Thrall. How many people are gonna turn evil? They can't keep doing that. They gotta come up with some new characters somewhere. They just have to. And so, to me, I think the Jailer is a good example of one of those characters. But I definitely hope that they can come up with because let's think about it. So I'm trying to think back. So in Vanilla, you had Vanilla, was whatever. Then you had BC, which was Illidan, which that was already a character that had turned bad. And then you had Arthas, which was a character that had turned bad. But those were both interesting, they were interesting storylines at the time. It was that hadn't been a common thing, I guess, in a way. And people like those characters a lot. And I kind of feel like they did a good job with Illidan in the end, because his story wasn't told very well in BC, so I was actually okay with him being redeemed because I always felt like he had good intentions anyways. And he kind of got a raw deal a lot of times. So I didn't mind that so much. So bringing him back and knowing that he's still out there is kind of awesome. I hope we get to see him again. And I love the voice actor. It's amazing work. So that's cool to know that he's there. But after Wrath, they brought Deathwing in, which again, another good guy gone bad. But again, that had been established before, so that was kind of cool to see him back. And then kind of after that is when things kind of started to where they started to take character. So next we had Cataclysm with Deathwing, and then we went into Miss, and that's where it all started with Garrosh. So first it was Garrosh, character that I guess he was a pretty, we talked about Garrosh many times on these leveling series, but he's pretty controversial. A lot of people loved him. I was one of those people. I thought Garrosh was awesome. Still kind of do. I would totally go there and I would love to go to Revendreth and save him, bring him out and have him help us. That'd be sweet. Somehow, maybe he gets redeemed. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool because I like Garrosh a lot for a lot of reasons. I just like his character. I like particularly pre-Miss Garrosh was my favorite version of him. So Garrosh becomes the big bad in Miss, and then he kind of becomes the plot device to get us into, Warlords, and then at the end is Gul'dan, so he becomes the plot device to get us into Legion, and then that's when they start the Sylvanas storyline, and she becomes the plot device for BFA, and, that ends pretty unfortunately in terms of her character, and now she's the plot device again to get us through BFA, and so she's kind of Garrosh 2.0 basically. She really did end up being Garrosh 2.0. He goes and he kind of runs to the Warlords of Draenor and that kind of thing, but I think he was his story kind of ended, whatever. It was kind of sad that he was gone, but I feel like he got a kind of a better deal in a way. Like I don't know. At this, like when I say all this stuff about Sylvanas, at the same time, I'm very interested to see where she ends up and what their plans are. I'm really intrigued just to see what the thought process is and like what they're going. I mean, we know they wanted. Well, I hope I'm not spoiling things, but they want to disrupt things. They want to disrupt the cosmic order. They want to disrupt the afterlife. They feel like it's a raw deal, so that's interesting in itself, and that kind of like makes sense because of what happened to her after the Lich King fell, and what she saw and what she thinks, and she just feels like it's unfair. So like that's kind of cool. It's just a shame that like it seems like the whole time she was just kind of being manipulated by the same guy the whole time. So that's unfortunate. Really, like I said, that aspect of it, you know, the thing that's cool is just seeing her like her plotting with the jailer and where her place is and where things are going to go. Unfortunately, like I said, it just seems like it comes across like she's just been this lackey the whole time, and that kind of is unfortunate. But yeah, point being, you know, like I hope that they don't have to continue taking a character that's a good guy or a character that's a favorite and, you know, kind of use them up, like or turn them bad so that we kill them in another raid and then they're gone, just to move the story along. Because like I said, eventually, man, like that's unfortunate. Like even Yrel from the alternate Draenor, you know, like which I, you know, kind of became their Illidan, or not Illidan, what am I talking about? Their, you know, their high priest or whatever, their leader. She kind of took what the heck's his name? Velen's place. That's it. You know, she's kind of bad now. But it's interesting with her because like it's a different kind of story. It's like, you know, what happens when the light goes bad, or when people use the light in a bad way and they're not a joke like the Scarlet Crusade. You know, so like there's a story there that I think is interesting to tell. But unfortunately, again, it's another example of having to take a good character, like a good guy, and turning them evil, which is what you have to do, I guess, a lot of times. But yeah, man, like at the same time, like you know, like they have added in so many good new villains. Like I like Denathrius a lot. Like I said last time, I think he's cool. I think the jailer's scary. You know, so there's a lot of, I mean, it's a price to pay. If Sylvanas is the price to pay to get something new and fresh and interesting and some cool new characters, then so be it. You know, because like I like a lot of the new characters and a lot of the new stories. So, you know, it is what it is. But I would love to, again, you know, talking about Sylvanas, like, I mean, just my thoughts, nothing against the character, nothing against you know, any of that kind of stuff. But I just, you know, again, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Oh, we might this might be bad. Ooh, I got stunned. Uh-oh. Do I have my bubble? Okay, yes I do, thank goodness. Alright. We might need to take her out first. It probably should have done that first. Okay, see if we get through this, and then if we do, we'll go from there. Okay, there, we got one. Gotta heal. Thank God mana regenerates fast. Thank God I'm a paladin. Holy cow. Man, holy cow, paladin. Haha. Jeez. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Smack. Okay. Do this. Heal up. My goodness. Okay. Come on. Almost got him. Almost got him. And there we go. Cool. We got him. All right. Got tons of those bandanas. We got what we needed here. That was a close call. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Sylvanas. We're going to pick things up on the next one. We're going to keep finding these bandanas, wrap things up on the east side of Elwyn Forest, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that like button. And feel free to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And if you'd like to see more videos, you can subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are posted. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you'd like, you can support my work on Patreon. Links to all that stuff can be found in the description below. This is Kephas. Until next time.